Hey YouTube, I am going to try something different. It was suggested that I turn my phone sideways, so this is a little interesting because I am in reality looking to the right of me. I'm going to look into the camera, so hopefully this comes out okay. It's going to be a short video, so if it's messed up, oh well, we won't do it again. So hopefully y'all can hear me. It is 105 degrees. I am in McAllen, Texas, getting ready. I'm at the shipper getting loaded, and then I am headed to South Carolina. So awesome miles. I'm super excited. But I'm going to talk about being a female and the safety precautions you take whenever you're out on the road. All truckers, whether you're male or female, should be making smart decisions, always be aware of your surroundings, and constantly scanning left, right, front, back, not only while you're driving in the truck, but when you're walking around anywhere, not just truck stops or rest stops. You should always, always, always be aware of your surroundings, take note of sketchy people, cars that are following you, people that are following you, all of those types of things that we should really do in our real everyday life anyways. So, as a female, you could say we have a bigger target on our back, but for the most part, personally speaking, I have had no problems, thank God. I run into some of the nicest people. I haven't come across any like creepy people. A little bit of interesting people, to say the least. I guess I have a friendly face because everywhere I go, people want to talk to me, and they want to have like 4-hour conversations. And I got into trucking primarily to do something where I didn't have to interact with people so much. But I'm never rude. I'm always nice. And, you know, it being solo now, I can understand the loneliness. The silence is like never ending. So I just figured maybe they just need some human interaction. And if I can provide some conversation, that's okay. But I have been in some sketchy areas, so much so that Swift sends me these little reminders that I'm in a high crime area, I need to be safe, and it does put a little bit more fear in me. I think that I understand where Swift's going with the messages, but if I just did everything that I always do as far as being safe, I don't think, I guess what I'm trying to say is the paranoia I could really do without. But for the past few days, actually, well, since Tuesday, I've been in the very most southern parts of Texas, in the valley, and truck drivers get robbed here, they get shot at. There's a lot of gang crime that's here in the valley area. Lots of drugs and human and sex trafficking goes on here. So, you know, you do have to take some extra precautions, but on a daily basis, things that I do, for example, when I stop. So one of the questions was, where do I stop, and do I have any guns or anything like that? The answer to the weapons thing is no. Swift does not allow, actually it's not just Swift, most companies will not allow you to have, weapons on the truck because insurance can't cover you, and that's the easy answer. So, what do I do to defend myself? Well, in the event that I need to defend myself, whoever's trying to break into my truck is going to have a hard time getting in. So, I use a ratchet strap, and tonight, whenever I do it, if I think about it, I'll just show you a short video, but it's super easy to explain. I take a ratchet strap, which is a strap that has a handle on it that tightens it, and then you squeeze it and it releases the tension. I tie one door to the other door and I tighten it. So in the event that somebody's trying to get in the truck, I will hear and feel the jerking of the truck, and that gives me time to think about what the fuck I'm gonna do. I think I've used it maybe, last night was the third night, specifically since I've been in the more southern parts of Texas. I honestly probably don't have to do it. I've never had any problems, but this is one of those things where you don't want to get too comfortable. You never want to get too comfortable. And in the event that something did happen, you know, I'd just rather be one step ahead of the game. So do I need to put it on there? Probably not. I've never been messed with. You know, I always feel pretty safe. But I feel even better knowing that nobody can get in. So, and especially after being locked out of my truck for 5 hours, watching 6 people try to get into my truck, knowing that, I mean, just watching them, they could not get into the truck. You know, I always have my doors locked. I always carry a separate set of keys on me. And I keep them in very close proximity to the door. So when I get out, I just grab them, put them in my pocket, and go. Another thing is, I don't stop at rest stops. I stop at rest stops during the day to go pee or something, but I don't stop at rest stops to sleep. Even though they say that there's security there, I'm not buying what they're selling, because as a 4-wheel driver, I stay at the rest stops constantly. Like if my kids need to get out or I need to get out, we're always at the rest stop. And I've seen a lot of sketchy shit go down at a rest stop, and the one security guard that is there is usually really old, maybe handicapped sometimes. Like, it's going to take them forever in a day to get to you. They're not police officers, so in a big truck, it's just not safe. I mean, and it's really dark in those places. So I always stay. I favor Love's a lot. Even if I am scheduled to fuel, just yesterday I was scheduled to fuel at TA, which was across the highway. I put fuel, and they had parking, but I just really prefer to go to Love's. That's just my thing. Last night I stayed at a Pilot. It was great. They had a Denny's, which was wonderful. Pancakes were great. You know, you start to miss little stupid shit. So I don't stay at Love's all the time, but if I had a choice, that's where I would stay. But wherever I stay, I make sure that I park where it's lit, whether it's a lane or it's not a lane. Last night, all of the parking at the Pilot was taken, but there was enough space where I could pull up. Like, there was a guy in the very last lane, or the first lane, because they went this way, and I parked right next to him, like right up on top of him, and there was plenty of room for trucks to still get by. I went inside, got my food and stuff, came out. There was like 2 more trucks parked, and they blocked the way of traffic coming in and out. Some people do that. I mean, I try to be respectful of other people's time and space and courteous and try to stay out of the fucking way, but I won't put my life in jeopardy to do so. So, sorry. I always stay as close to the store as I possibly can. I didn't get out of being loaded last night until after 10 o'clock. So I knew pulling into a truck stop at 11:30, there wasn't going to be any parking. But I slide in where I can and as close to the store as possible, because that's where the lights are. I always stay where it's very lit, and I walk in front of the trucks at the fuel station, at the fuel docks, and nobody messes with me. I've never had any problems. So those are things that I try to do. Even if there's one parking, but it's way the fuck back there in the boondocks and it's dark, it's not that I can't park, because I can. I'm not going to put myself out there and put myself in danger. Is there danger out there? Probably not, but I want to stay where it's lit. I don't know how many females are here at that whatever truck stop, and I can't worry about other people. I can only worry about myself. So I'm that bitch that if I need to, I'm going to make a lane where there's not one, because it's my life and it's my safety. That's my prerogative, and I can do that. And I recommend that other females in this industry, you do the same thing. Don't waste your time trying to park in the one spot that's way in the middle of nowhere. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Keep yourself safe. Your safety and your well-being always come first. So fuck what everybody else is doing. You do what you gotta do. And that, I stand strong by that. I don't give a fuck what any trucker says. I'm not gonna park in a spot that's gonna put me further out of safety. It's just not gonna happen. And I'm being very serious. I have seen stuff. Nothing has happened to me, but the stuff that I have seen with men. I haven't seen anything happen to females. I don't really run into many females since I've been here in South Texas. But these people fight. They do have guns. They have knives. They get drunk in the truck stops. They start getting irate when basketball finals were going on. My God, the fights that broke out. It's just crazy. And you don't want to be in the middle of all that shit. And it's usually the people that are parked way in the back. It's dark. They're out having little, drinking games and stuff like that. Like, you don't want to be a part of that. Stay the fuck away from the back of the truck stops. It's not safe. Just don't do it. So that's what I do. I prefer to drive at night, but sometimes my load doesn't allow for me to drive at night. So, you have to be flexible. You do what you got to do. And, if you can drive at night and stay at the truck stop during the day, that's ideal. That's what you want to do. There's not many people there. If you're a shitty parker, you don't have to worry about parking because you have all the fucking lanes to choose from. Just close your eyes in whichever lane you wind up in, call it yours. But, last night I got to the shipper with the sun up and I watched the sun go down. I even took some pictures of it. Sometimes it's just out of your control. And you wind up in these situations where it doesn't matter what truck stop you go to, they're all full. So do what you got to do, park close. If you don't have to get out of the truck, don't. I keep my truck fully stocked with food, drinks, stuff like that. And I've trained myself that, if I know I'm going to stop, I'll pull over somewhere real quick, go to the restroom, park, and don't get out of the fucking truck. In the event that somebody was actually to get into my truck, there's a few different things. I do have knives on the truck for cooking. I have chef knives, bread knives, utility knives. There's plenty of knives, and they're right here behind me in the cabinet. So I don't pull knives out and sleep with them next to my bed, but they're there. Like I said, with the ratchet strap holding the door shut, in the event that somebody actually tries to get into the truck, I'm going to have a few minutes, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, before they figure out that they're not going to get in here. It only takes me a couple of seconds to get in my tote, pull out a knife, and if you dare come on this truck and I stab you, I'm going straight for your neck, going straight for the jugular. So just don't do it. You see me on the truck stop, stay away from me. Because if you come into my space, I'm aiming to kill. You will not walk away from this truck alive. And that may be harsh, it may be, rough, but that's how I roll. Don't come in my space. Just don't. It's not worth it to you, and I don't have time for it. Like, I'm trying to sleep. My sleep is important, so just leave me the fuck alone. It's that simple. I don't know why people have to get into shit, but they do. I think they're just bored, and alcohol plays a big part of it. I watch these people put down some beer. It is insane. And then they get in their trucks, and some of them just drive off. It's crazy. But for the most part, everything has been amazing. I haven't had any issues personally. I hope it stays that way. Even though I feel pretty secure in where I park and the things that I do, the precautions that I take, I always make sure that my fuel is always at half or above. I always make sure that there's a lot of people whenever I do stop, and there's high traffic and a lot of lights. I stay in lit areas all the time, especially if I'm going to get out. It's just being aware of your surroundings and making sure that in the event that something was to happen, that you have enough time to react. You don't ever want to be blindsided. It's just, that's not going to be a good situation because you don't have time to respond. You're going to get scared and fearful for your life before you even think about responding. It's just not worth it. So, like I said, if I think about it tonight when I put the strap on, that sounded really bad. Okay, when I attach the strap to the doors, and I can maybe think about it, but I just don't think it's necessary. Just tie your doors together. Before I remembered where my ratchet strap was, because my husband gave it to me, and I put it somewhere and then I couldn't remember. So for the first few nights, I just took the seat belt, pulled it all the way out, locked it, and tied it around the door itself on each side. You couldn't open the doors. Just secure your doors. Make sure your doors are always locked, and make sure you have something in the truck to defend yourself with in the event that, God forbid, something happens. So, ladies, be safe out there. Be safe out there. I've come across a lot of females that, they walk like they're 10 feet tall and bulletproof, and a lot of male truckers, they look at that as an invitation to test you. Just be yourself. Don't try to be somebody that you're not. I look really mean and I'm covered in tattoos. I look really rough around the edges, but then I open my mouth and start talking and they're like, oh, this girl. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Don't think because you're in a male or dominated industry that you gotta puff your chest out and walk really funny. Like, I've seen some interesting chicks out here. It's just not that serious. Be yourself. People can tell that you're trying too hard, and like I said, it's an invitation to come and fuck with you. You want to act tough and, rough around the edge, they're gonna fucking test you, and it's just not worth it. Just be yourself. I go get my nails done, and my feet are always done. I go get my hair done. Like, I'm always gonna be me, and I get a lot of respect out here on the streets for it. I'm not too proud to ask for help. For example, getting into this spot I just got into, it's really tight in here. Like, you have to go on the curb to freaking park into this dock. It's crazy. In front of me, there's not enough space. Hold on. The sidewalk, the grass is right there. I'm parked in the dock. This is the front of my truck. I don't even have enough room. If I was to go all the way to that curb, my trailer would still be in the lanes for the dock. So it's really tight in here. And I came in, you come in off the road, there's not room here, so you only come in one way. So I had to go down there where there's more trailers, squeeze and do a U-turn. It took a few tries, and come this way so I could back in. And I kept running over that fucking curb, and the guy next to me was like, you have to do it, there's no other way. And I got it in here, but watching other people try to park here that have been driving for a long time, I felt a lot better about my parking. I was like, well, at least it's not just me. So take your time, get out and ask if you need help. Like, I asked this guy to guide me because the way you have to park in here, it's blind. Don't be that person that's going to be like, oh, fuck this, I got it. You already have a target on you. It's called Swift. People are going to assume that you're an idiot just because of the company that you're driving for. Don't prove them right. Get the fuck out and ask for help. It's not that hard. And girls, let me tell you, I look rough around the edges, but obviously I'm a female. So, dudes, when you ask them for help, they will trip over their feet to try to help you. So, don't be afraid to take advantage of being a female in this industry. I'm not saying be a damsel in distress, because that's just fucking annoying. But if you need the help, they're going to help you. They're just going to. They may think that you're fucking retarded for being in their industry, but at the end of the day, they're going to be nice. They're going to help you. I haven't come across any assholes at all. Everybody is pretty down to earth, and we're all here doing the same thing. We're all out here chasing our money, and like I said, me personally, I haven't come across anything crazy or any weird ass people. So that's it for this safety video. I hope that y'all learned something. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. This is just what works for me. It may not work for you. And if you're an owner operator and you get to carry a gun, I'm very jealous. So that's it for right now. I'm sitting here forever. I'm gonna go ahead and eat some lunch, and I have some more videos to make, y'all. I love the questions. Keep them coming, and I will keep bringing you videos to answer your questions. All right, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.